Hi guys, welcome. It's been just a little while since I've done one of these videos, so I wanted to talk to you guys today about nocturia, or nighttime urination. And I've been trying to learn about this condition more extensively just because this affects so many people and the quality of life impact it has is really dramatic. And so it's very common for me to see people every single day who are getting up 3 or 4 times a night to go to the bathroom. And for a lot of them, it's been going on for years. So I want to talk about what are some of the underlying causes that might cause somebody to wake up at nighttime. What are some of the more, let's say, natural things that can be done? What should be investigated? And then also talk to you just a little bit about the therapy that we do. Or that I specialize in, which is called sacral neuromodulation. So I think one of the important things to understand is for many people, nighttime urination, one of the number one causes is that your body is making stress hormones. And so again, we might think nighttime, I'm waking up at night to go to the bathroom, like it has nothing to do with stress. But your body is making these stress hormones, and generally it's adrenaline, noradrenaline, aldosterone, and parathyroid hormones. So these are hormones that cause you to become more alert and to wake up, and they're happening for various reasons. And so part of the investigative phase is trying to figure out why is your body making these hormones that are waking you up. And why does this matter? I think anybody who wakes up at nighttime, who wakes up, let's say, more than once per night, understands how profoundly that nighttime lack of sleep affects your quality of life. There's more and more research that's coming out. And basically, probably the healthiest thing that any of us can do for ourselves is trying to sleep good in the night. What's interesting is your diet plays into it, supplements play into it, other medical conditions all play into it. And so I'm going to talk about a few of the causes that might be causing these stress hormones to be released in your body, and what can you do about it. So one of the actually very common stressors that people face at nighttime is called obstructive sleep apnea. I think all of us know what that is to some degree, but basically your airway is closing off. It creates a hypoxic condition or low oxygen condition. And so for many people, it releases these stress hormones constantly because it's in the fight or flight response, trying to tell your body, wake up or you're going to die. Like you're going to suffocate. That's what it feels like for somebody. That's what it feels like for your body. And so that causes all kinds of different things. These stress hormones cause your blood pressure to go up. They cause pulmonary vasoconstriction, those blood vessels to constrict even more. They decrease the blood flow to the bladder, and then they lead to what's called oxidative stress. And so oxidative stress is one of the main things that we think happens in all of aging, but uniquely this condition, overactive bladder, we believe is an oxidative stress condition. Your body is getting too much stress. Nighttime is when our bodies are supposed to de-stress. And so if you're waking up frequently at nighttime, you're never entering proper de-stress. Let's see. And interesting thing is there's something called anti-diuretic hormone, or vasopressin. So it's a natural hormone that we're supposed to make at nighttime, that it's anti-diuretic, and diuretic is going to the bathroom. So it's an anti-going to the bathroom hormone. It's supposed to help you sleep through the night, but oftentimes with these other stress hormones, your body's not getting enough of that desmopressin or antidiuretic hormone, also called vasopressin. But your body's not getting enough of those, and then you're having this stress cycle that goes over and over again eventually. And so sleep apnea is one of the things that can cause a decrease in bladder function. But sleep apnea is obviously not the only thing. A lot of conditions are associated with hypoxia, decreased blood oxygenation, acidosis, and then oxidative stress. And so there's some really interesting connections that I'm going to talk about with circadian rhythm, and so that's going to be one of the things that I recommend, because this nighttime hormone, the antidiuretic hormone, follows a circadian path. So if you are, let's say you sleep until noon, then you wake up and you stay indoors, and then you watch TV until you fall asleep, and you still have that TV going, that TV creates blue light, or your phone or iPad, all of those create blue light at nighttime, and they're telling your brain, wake up, and they're telling your brain, it's not time to go to sleep, don't secrete that hormone. So one of the most important things for people who have this nighttime urination problem is actually to get into a normal circadian rhythm. So there's a couple different ways of doing that. But the easiest way, I would say, is try and wake up, sometime before, let's say 9 a.m., and then go outside. Get exposure to light. You want to get it for your eyes, but you want to get it on your skin too. And then basically you're going to try, and if you have woken up 3 times at night and you're just not able to sleep and you're exhausted and you have to take a nap, okay, you can still take a nap. But you want to wake up at an early hour, expose yourself to light, and then in the evening time you want to start decreasing that exposure to blue lights. So that means optimizing the light level in your house, decreasing. So if it's dark outside, make your house dark inside. But you really want to decrease exposure to blue lights at nighttime, because you're going to try and get back into a normal circadian rhythm. So your body will produce this hormone again, antidiuretic hormone, so it'll help you to sleep through the night. Okay. So again, if you're waking up at night and you have all these stress hormones, it will raise your blood pressure, puts more demand on the bladder. It actually decreases the blood flow to the bladder. And so there have been several things that have been studied and several things that I'm going to recommend. So the first one, you need to optimize your circadian rhythm. You need to tell your body when it's the right time to go to bed, when it's the right time to wake up, and you need to start forcing yourself into that cycle. There's a few supplements that have shown benefit. I've talked in the past about magnesium pretty extensively. That is it's one that generally you take at nighttime. Almost all Americans are deficient in it. It helps to relax the body and helps to relax the mind. It actually has been shown to help people with overactive bladder to relax the bladder. So magnesium, 400 to 500 milligrams at nighttime is kind of what most people should be taking, I would say, at a minimum. Melatonin is your nighttime hormone. Your body starts making less of that once you hit about 40 years in age. So with decreasing levels of melatonin, it actually creates more of that oxidative stress that we talked about being dangerous for the bladder nerves and being an irritating environment for the bladder. So I'm a big fan of melatonin at nighttime, 5 to 10 milligrams at night, and you can even go higher on that. Melatonin has some really interesting properties, including anti-cancer properties. So at higher doses, like 50 milligrams, it's taken for anti-cancer. But magnesium and melatonin. In the morning time, you need to optimize vitamin D. So there's a lot of research on vitamin D, magnesium, and then even melatonin. So in the morning time, you take vitamin D, you get sunlight exposure, and then the average person should take somewhere between 4,000 to 5,000 IUs of vitamin D per day. I like one that's called Dr. Berg's. You can buy it on Amazon. And it has vitamin K2, which strengthens your bones as well. So remember, you have these stress hormones that are causing you to wake up and go to the bathroom. They're causing less blood flow to go to the bladder. They're causing less of the hormone, antidiuretic hormone, so it's making you want to get up and go pee all the time. We need to get that back into a normal cycle. So magnesium at nighttime, melatonin at nighttime, vitamin D in the daytime. Optimizing those, your body can't heal itself unless your vitamin D levels are essentially normal, and it can't heal itself if your magnesium levels are low. So we need to have both of those really optimized. There's been some other research, and this is where things I think get kind of interesting. So one of them is vitamin C. Vitamin C works on oxidative stress. It's an antioxidant. So vitamin C, if you're struggling with this, start taking some vitamin C at nighttime, and you can take it in the day as well. Here's an interesting one, salt. So taking salt and even carbohydrates. So eating some Generally, too much of our diet consists of carbohydrates, which is they cause more oxidative stress, too much sugar in our blood. But there has been some research that some, carbohydrates before bedtime actually helps you to sleep better. So salt, and that could be as simple as, a teaspoon of salt in water, small cup of water. The recommendation is to drink water pretty aggressively in the first 10 hours of the day and then start to lower it down. So you don't want to be taking gulping massive amounts of water before you go to sleep. You're going to try and prepare yourself to sleep through the night. Here's one that I think is really beneficial. It's glycine. And so you might be asking, what is glycine? It's an amino acid. It's actually found in high supplies in collagen. So things like bone broth, gelatins, a lot of, our ancestors used to get a lot of that. We don't get as much these days. But I'm a big believer in taking collagen to get proper levels of glycine. And that glycine works as an anti-inflammatory, but it's been studied and researched for people waking up at nighttime. And the nighttime doses that they have done research are somewhere around 6,000 milligrams or 6 grams a day. I think the best way to take that is with supplementation of collagen. You can mix that in with your coffee. That's what I do. You can put it with smoothies, other things like that. There's also been research on zinc. So zinc is another really important mineral, and oftentimes you have to take that with food because it can irritate your gut. But zinc is really important in all these different hormonal interactions. So you have vitamin D, glycine that we talked about, magnesium, melatonin at night, zinc, and salt. So a little teaspoon of salt. Okay, so today, let me look. I think I have just a few other notes. But today, I think the most important thing, if you're struggling, and I've seen this so frequently, but if you're struggling with waking up at night more than once per night, that's called Nocturia. It's abnormal. I want to encourage you to take some lifestyle modifications. From a dietary standpoint, I'm a big believer in the anti-inflammatory diet. That's the ketogenic diet. And so it's high protein, high fats, low carbohydrates. That seems to have miraculous effects for all sorts of different conditions, including brain conditions. And brains, indirectly, that's the same stuff that nerves are made of. So we want to try and calm down these nerves. So simple things you can do: take collagen each day, which is glycine. Take your vitamin D, get exposure to light in the morning. Take your zinc. At nighttime, take your magnesium. Start to have the lights decrease in your house. Don't have the direct light exposure from your phone. So start to just wind out at a normal time at night when it's getting dark out. So we're trying to make your body make its own hormone called vasopressin to prevent all the other stressors. Another thing that's been shown to help people is just plain old exercise. So it doesn't have to be aggressive. It can be walking. It can be sauna. It can be swimming. Any of those things actually cancel out oxidative stress and increase the oxygen levels in our body. So we got to do those things. De-stress at night before you go to bed. So you really want to set yourself up for success in this arena. What I focus on, again, is sacral neuromodulation. It's a little pacemaker for your bladder. It calms down the irritated nerves inside your bladder and the nerves going up to your spinal cord and to your brain. It's also very effective for people if they're waking up 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 times a night. It's very effective, but I always encourage these lifestyle modifications because we want to really treat the underlying issue. So lifestyle modifications. I love sacral neuromodulation. You can try it out, see if it works for you. It works for over 90% of people. The average person gets a 75% improvement. For a lot of people, it's a miracle therapy. And people are in this constant state of stress, where they're stressed all day, stressed at night because they're waking up. This therapy, when other things fail, is the best thing that there is. It's the best thing that you can do for yourself. It's an investment in your future. But I want to encourage you with all these lifestyle things, even for people who have this technology, have this device, it's important to manage and monitor your stress, to maximize certain minerals, vitamins, And so that's what the latest research shows on nocturia, nighttime urination, and how to improve it. I would love any questions. I would love to hear your all's comments. Oh, one more thing, really interesting thing, is baking soda. And so a tablespoon of baking soda, which is sodium bicarbonate, at nighttime, a tablespoon of baking soda tends to decrease the acidity. It tends to increase oxygenation, and there's research on that helping people to sleep through the night. It's something that I actually take each night along with melatonin and magnesium, the stuff that I've already told you guys about. I buy baking soda or sodium bicarbonate tablets from Amazon, and I take those ones. But you can simply get a tablespoon of baking soda, mix it with water, not huge amounts of water, small amounts of water, and see if that helps you to sleep better. So all of these things, we want to increase the oxygenation, decrease the stress. If you do have something like sleep apnea, you need to get that addressed. You need to have it looked at. You need to get treated. That is an extremely dangerous condition. All right, guys, God bless you. I'll put some notes down below. Thank you so much.